Hi, welcome back to another Facebook Live. I'm Dr. Sam Sunshine, and we are live in Southern California. We're having another gorgeous day here. And if you're in attendance today, please type in your name in the chat box. Let us know where you're from. Everyone's been kind of shy lately. Today's talk, we're going to be talking about toxins. These are toxins that are in our food supply, cookware, carpet, furniture, water supply, and in the air. I'll be discussing how toxins build up in our bodies and how toxins can adversely affect our health and our longevity. First of all, what is detox? A lot of people talk about detoxing, and this means different things to different people. Juicing, fasting, eating lots of cruciferous vegetables, and drinking lots of water, or lemon water with cayenne pepper. Others detox by simply stopping their alcohol consumption. That's their detox. Nonetheless, lifestyle gets less recognition than food when we talk about toxins. Dr. Deanna Minich wrote a good book called Whole Detox. And so a lot of the information I got from her, she discusses the different toxins and how they affect our health. And she really recommends a whole self detox program. So let's spend a minute discussing lifestyle toxins. Lifestyle toxicities or toxins include going to a toxic job every day or having toxic emotions stored within you, thinking recycled toxic thoughts and being exposed to environmental toxins through the home, school, or work. We need to approach detoxing as a lifestyle change rather than a temporary deprivation. Detox needs to be focused on the whole person and really eating whole, real foods. And that's my big message. Physical toxins like heavy metals can create physiologic and psychologic problems. Or physiologic toxins are caused by stress, and they can have physical manifestations. So patients with chronic fatigue syndrome, for instance, were given medical foods with specific nutrients to enhance detox pathways in conjunction with a clean, low-allergy, calorie-controlled diet, and they had a greater reduction in health complaints, again, by having more of a comprehensive approach. Detoxification encompasses metabolism of drugs, metabolites from gut bacteria, pollutants in the air, metabolic byproducts, what our liver is detoxing, and even toxic experiences, relationships, and our thoughts. So this toxic burden contributes to many chronic diseases, including type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, arthritis, and neurodegenerative conditions. And those are leading causes of death and morbidity in the United States. And so you can argue as if these toxins exposures that we're dealing with. And many people are looking for ways to lose weight and increase their energy and feel great. But patients struggle with brain fog, anxiety, achy joints, insomnia, depression, and fatigue. These are common symptoms I see every day. Simply adhering to a strict diet program is not the answer. An American's average toxic burden is higher than it's ever been. So is our rate of obesity. Any coincidence? I don't think so. Don't simply focus on the body, but focus on the whole self. Stress, for instance, is toxic. The stress hormone, cortisol, cues our body to put on the pounds, disrupt our sleep, and raise our blood pressure. Ultimately, this can lead you down the path of type 2 diabetes, obesity, autoimmune conditions, and even cancer. Lives can be plagued with heartbreak, loneliness, and boredom, rather than a life of passion, meaning, and community. That's really what we should be striving for. And really realizing that our body affects our feelings, and our feelings affect our body. It's a two-way street. A happy, relaxed person is biochemically different from an angry, sad, or fearful person. And detox is not simply nutritional advice. We really need to minimize toxins as well. In a nutshell, here are some areas to contemplate and implement. Improve your diet, drink more water, and identify any limiting beliefs. Taking diet supplements, balancing hormones, lifestyle, self-exploration, journaling, can all affect our ability to detox. Identify your personal toxins. Mind, body, and emotions all affect one another. Finding purpose, eliminating toxic food, and removing a toxic thought are all better for our well-being. We can all detox through food, through movement, new patterns of emotional expression. Detox is also a very personal approach. It requires self-reflection. What aspects of your life and your body need cleansing, healing, and rejuvenation? Diet detox begins by eliminating the three worst foods: the sugar, the white flour, unhealthy fats, too much caffeine. Consider buying a water filter, an air purifier, blackout curtains in your bedroom, and eliminating light and EMF pollution in the bedroom. That's electromagnetic forces. Remember that your body and your mind are part of the same system. Your cells go everywhere. We need to address both health and life issues, and it's important to identify all toxic impediments in addition to the nutritional ones. Although we're all different, we need sound nutrition. We need emotional stability. We need to be moving the body, and we need to be letting go of limiting beliefs, toxic self-talk, and toxins that impede our growth. And let's not forget about the role of thoughts and beliefs and emotions in our health. Fear, grief, and anger are harder to measure than one's blood pressure or cholesterol level. One final thought on the topic of emotion and our health. Our thoughts and emotions create a biochemical event within our bodies. And the ways that our bodies and our minds interact is complex. And we need to take some consideration and time to reflect on this. And do you know that losing weight and staying healthy has more to do with getting rid of toxins in your diet, in your body, and in your environment than following up the latest weight loss diet? This is something I'm going to talk about a little bit right now. So clean up your diet, clean out your body, clean out your house, and eliminate toxins. Consider cleansing your home environment and reorganizing your food pantry. Get rid of a lot of the chemicals used to clean your house and get more organic cleansers. Did you know that allergies and sensitivities to the food we eat can lead to seasonal allergies, migraine headaches, arthritis, eczema, asthma, and even heart disease? These conditions can improve and in many cases disappear with dietary and environmental changes, getting rid of the toxins. Every one of us is living in a toxic world. We are born with a body of chemical burden that we inherit when we're in the womb. Some people say 180 toxins are measurable in the cord blood. And these toxins can cross over through the placenta to the child. And then we breathe in toxins just walking down the soap aisle of the grocery store, or inhaling car exhaust as we're on our bikes, or when we do laundry with scented detergent and fabric softener, when we have our clothes dry cleaned, or when we cook with Teflon pans. People around the world use non-stick pots and pans in their everyday cooking. There's been controversy around these non-stick coatings, such as Teflon. And this non-stick cookware, such as fry pans and saucepans, have been coated with this material. I won't try to say it, but it's this polytetrafluoroethylene, commonly known as Teflon. And it's a synthetic chemical made up of carbon and fluorine atoms. Fortunately, this compound was banned in Teflon pans back in 2013. But if you have old pans that date back, get rid of them, be safe, buy ceramic cookware, it's safer. We also absorb toxins from carpeting, paints, cabinets in our homes and workplaces. From meals that are microwaved in plastic, you really want to avoid that. So just living in this day and age, we silently, without doing anything, have an alarmingly built up toxin load from all these exposures. And we can't escape toxic exposure altogether, but we can cut it way back, and that's really the goal. All it takes is some basic lifestyle adjustments, some all-natural supplements, and focusing on our diets. So really the goals: stop new toxins from coming into the body and get accumulated toxins out of the body. So I'm not going to get too much into the detox, but cleaning up your diet, cleaning up your home environment, use fighting supplements and improve toxin elimination in our body. The top 3 reactive foods in our diet are, like I said before, wheat, sugar, dairy. Buy organic foods. Be careful about what foods you eat. Increase the amount of key foods in your diet and use certain all-natural supplements that help get your body rid of fat. So the key to reduce our toxic burden, when people begin to reduce their toxic burden, is organs, our liver, kidneys start to work better. Make your pantry a chemical-free zone and buy organic foods. So what are some of the common symptoms of increased toxic load? Again, it's the fatigue, depression, brain fog, balance problems, poor memory, headaches, tremors, allergies, asthma, chemical sensitivities, diabetes, fibromyalgia, autoimmunity, infertility, and chronic infections. The EPA, or the Environmental Protection Agency, lists 80,000 chemicals that are in use daily. But we only check about 250 of those in some of the lab testing. We spray billions of tons of pesticides every year, and this doubles every 10 years. Common chemicals that weigh us down include these dioxins. They're produced when chlorine-containing compounds are made in chemical plants. These volatile compounds, these VOCs, are solvents, including styrene, xylene, dichlorobenzene, and ethylphenol. Halogenated compounds like DDT, polycarbonated biphenyls, or these flame retardants, organophosphate, pesticides, the phthalates in plastic, and these polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, or PCBs, from combustion sources. Heavy metals including lead, mercury, cadmium, and arsenic, and bisphenol A. These are a lot of the common toxins we're dealing with. They're everywhere. So I think we need to be careful. Non-organic beef, non-organic dairy, farm-raised fish, especially salmon and catfish, non-organic butter. So let's talk about the Dirty Dozen. This is another book from Walter Crinan. These are, he lists fruits and vegetables that have the highest pesticide residues: apples, bell peppers, carrots, celery, cherries, imported grapes, kale, lettuce, nectarines, peaches, pears, and strawberries. So you can soak these in 10% vinegar or simply wash and scrub these fruits and vegetables before you eat them. A study by the Food Safety Authority of Ireland found that farm salmon has an average of 4 times more of these PCBs and dioxins and other chlorinated contaminants than wild salmon. The feed pellets are made from small fish that have been contaminated with these PCBs. And high PCB levels in their blood have the most problems. So people with the highest level of these PCBs have the biggest problems with learning and memory. Atlantic salmon is always farmed for the most part, while Alaskan salmon and from the British Columbia is usually wild. What about toxic plastics? When you look at that little triangle on the bottom, the 1 to 4 is less toxic, but as number 5 to 7, it's more toxic. We need to eliminate trans fats, refined sugars, reduce our daily cereal and bread intake, and dairy. Next to wheat, dairy is the most common reactive food. So what can we eat? Plenty of lean protein, berries, green tea, broccoli, fish oil, and olive oil are healthy fats. What you eat is not just avoiding junk food. Let's talk about electromagnetic field exposure. We're going to be having the 5G coming pretty soon. These are found in your cell phones, routers, and any electric devices that are connected without a cord, Wi-Fi. And EMF exposure has been associated with certain types of cancer, Alzheimer's disease, male infertility, headaches, poor concentration, depression, sleep problems, and fatigue. So turn off your smartphone, your iPad, your laptop, and unplug your Wi-Fi altogether, especially when you're going to bed. We're rapidly entering this new chapter in the history of medicine. In the old medicine, most diseases were caused by acute problems, stemming from infections, acute exposure to toxins, and physical injuries. Today, healthcare workers spend most of the time caring for patients with chronic illnesses that last for years. Today we're exposed to thousands of chemicals that simply did not exist 50 years ago. We are also exposed to massive amounts of electromagnetic fields that didn't exist 50 years ago. And we're continually exposed to all kinds of heavy metals, chemical pollutants, pesticides, radiation. And we're exposing our bodies to chemicals and radiation in amounts and varieties never before encountered in the history of mankind. So we need to be really smart about what we're going to be doing in the future. Again, we have 3G, 4G, now we're going to have 5G that's going to be international, and LTE. They're not getting rid of the 3 and 4G and the LTE when the 5G rolls out. It's going to be cumulative. So again, keeping routers out of your bedroom, keeping your cell phone, keeping your televisions out of the bedroom. Again, trying to eat organic, drink plenty of water, get a water purification system in your house and at work. A Berkey water filter has been thought of as being really good. Air purifiers. Recently, I purchased a couple because we've had bad air quality from recent fires. The Air Doctor is one of the ones that I find is very good, as well as the IQ Air. A couple air filters you might consider investing in for home and also for your office. Again, we live in a very toxic world. We're discovering, I think, 10 new toxins every month. Our bodies, according to one toxicologist that I heard speak, our bodies, our liver is able to detox about 9 toxins for every 10 toxins that we ingest. So we're constantly accumulating toxins and we're becoming a bag of toxins. So we need to be aware of where the toxins are coming from and what we can do to avoid them, and then try to eliminate new toxins from coming in by being smart about what you're eating. Again, organic foods, yeah, they're more expensive. And grass-fed beef, yeah, it's more expensive. Wild-caught salmon, way more expensive than farm-raised. But in the long run, it's better for us. So it's something to spend some time contemplating. So that's kind of the conclusion of my talk about toxins. I kind of raced through a ton of things. Again, some of the things that I've changed in the more recent past is no longer storing food in plastic containers. That's where phthalates are. And instead using glass containers. Not drinking out of plastic bottles, even though plastic bottles, I guess, is better than tap water, but still try to get water from a purified source and then use a metal or glass container to drink your water from. And especially if you have a water bottle that's been in your car, it's been heated, you get more leaching of the phthalates, and the phthalates are endocrine disruptors, and one of the main causes for men to have low fertility. So again, I'm not going to get a whole lot into ways to detox your body and your mind. Again, emotions, thoughts are super important, but these are things to start contemplating. And in a future Facebook Live, we'll talk about ways you can detox. Again, the simple ways are to do things that are easy to do and that are free in a sense. And that's, again, looking at your pantry, seeing what's in there. You might be surprised. You might have food that's been in there for eons. Throw out the old stuff. Again, when you decide to put flooring in your house, you might think twice about, carpeting or certain types of carpeting, and go more with a non-toxic substance, whether it's a ceramic tile or a wood. Again, things to think about, and I think it's important to be eco-friendly, especially with household chemicals. They say the best thing is just water with lemon in terms of using that as a cleaner. But go underneath your kitchen sink, wherever you keep your cleaning supplies, and try to get rid of some of the ones that are outdated and that are not eco-friendly. You can get eco-friendly things from Amazon, or you can buy them at places like Sprouts, Whole Foods, Mother's Market. They can have a wider selection of less toxic cleaners. And again, same with your fabric softener and your static cling sheets. that you use in the dryer. Be selective in what brand you choose. Get one that's less toxic. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to type something in the comment box. So here's a question about water bottle quality. Again, on the bottom of the water bottle, there's a little triangle and it's got a little number in the middle. If it's a 1 through 4, that's less toxic than the numbers 5 through 7, tend to be more toxic. And again, it's better probably not to drink out of plastic water bottles, although it's better to stay hydrated and drink from a plastic water bottle than maybe dehydrated and avoid water just because it's in a plastic bottle. I think probably the typical water from our water supply is probably more toxic than the purified water that you get in water bottles. So again, use your common sense. Any other questions? Okay, so yeah, the ways that we eliminate toxins from our body, number 1 is through pooping. Number 2, or we call it defecation in medical lingo. And it's best to have several bowel movements a day. If people are having maybe 1 bowel movement a day or 1 bowel movement every other day, come talk to me or come talk to your doctor. I think it's important that we're eliminating more frequently, and there are ways to improve elimination. Another is through urination, of course, so again, staying hydrated. A third way is exercise. When we exercise or we're in a sauna and we're sweating, we lose toxins that way. There are some detox programs that have patients in saunas for several hours a day, and really making sure they're staying hydrated and exercising vigorously. So I'm a huge proponent that I think everybody should be exercising every day and trying to break a sweat every day. And that's a great way to detox. And it's also good for the mind. Again, this is an area that very few people talk about when they talk about detoxing. But it's almost like going to a yoga retreat. You're going to come back with a different mentality, a different mental attitude. And I think we need to look at that, and try to examine your social life, your home life, your friends, your community. Do you have toxic relationships? Do you have self-limiting beliefs like I'm not good enough? Those are things you can work on, and they're free. And eliminating or avoiding toxic relationships that you have, and trying to be positive in your day-to-day scenario, even though we're dealing with a difficult time right now with the pandemic, and people are really struggling financially, and people are at home alone, and it is really hard, and I don't see any solutions in the short term. So again, having integrity, character, surrounding yourself with positive people, being positive, journaling, what you're journaling down, what you're grateful for. All these things are super helpful, and I think we should all be doing them. All right. Well, listen, I want to thank you again for listening in on our talk on toxins. And if you have any questions, you can always text me separately. Again, we're at OC Sports and Wellness. Our phone number, 949-460-9111. Thank you very much.